Well, the past decade or so has seen a dramatic shift in the public perception of comics. Within the field of education, research on graphic texts, while enthusiastic and optimistic, nearly always focuses only on its instrumental and cognitive possibilities, how such text can be used with younger readers as a complementary learning aid to the delivery of mainstream curriculum content. And while I certainly share in this enthusiasm, the focus of my research looks to the reading experiences of pre-service teachers and how comics about adolescence might function as a screen through which future high school teachers can narrate their fears, anxieties, desires, and dreams about educational life. Reading with comics enables not only different ways of thinking and different means of handling the narrative interconnections of time and space, but also a different mode of access into the reader's relation with their own self. I look to this page on my slide, for instance, and follow this figure as his eyes imply the losses inherent in love and the threatening nature of the smiles of others, the play of bodies against the incessant movement of clouds, and the awesome weight of shame and the burden of time and regret. Between the panels, I'm drawn back to and through my own adolescence, fumbling through my dreams of a perfect other and a perfect world, a series of moments in time captured on the page, in which I can dwell and interpret meanings, interpret myself in these eyes obsessed, and read in this smile a story of my own unfinished history. Treating comics as objects worthy of literary merit, I therefore think about the psychic life of reading, how reading relates to the experience of dreaming, how desire and memory inform our uncertain interactions with multimodal texts, and different from the silent and solitary reader and the written responses typically encountered in school, how collaborative literacy formations and visual responses may reenact as they also throw into question the ambiguous relations of reader and text. My overall objective here is to look at how readers interpret the textual form of graphic narrative. Working with a group of pre-service teachers, I asked them to read a number of graphic novels focused on adolescent life, and we met once a month to discuss their readings and to share their creative responses. As a social event, these meetings allowed for reading to become an unpredictable, embodied, and relational space. I also asked readers to respond to these stories visually and in relation to personal memory, developing the narrative economy of comics, a peculiar interrelation of words, images, elisions, structural ambiguities, and uncertain sequences. Entering this project, I used the following questions to guide my research. What can the experience of reading the hybrid nature of contemporary coming-of-age comics teach us about the emotional life of teaching and learning? How do future educators use visual response as a way to symbolize memory? And how does such symbolization help to narrate their dreams and desires about education? In the context of a social environment, how do adult readers contend with the aesthetic devices that characterize the comics form? And lastly, what are the methodological possibilities for using comics as a way to allow readers to access their emotional development as future educators? In reading their visual responses, which, as with comics in general, reveal as much through what they do say as through what they do not, I asked how the teacher's adolescence persists as a part of their present practice. How do readers consider the literary value of ambiguity? And how does working within the constraints of visual form allow these readers a sense of experimentation in regards to how they interpret their past? Finally, this work illuminates the broader value of thinking about the limits of language and the various implications of working at the margins of literary meaning. As words are at times unable to capture the meanings of experience and those produced in a reader's textual interactions, this research enlivens a necessary discussion about how teachers, readers, students, and researchers interact with representationally ambiguous texts. Thank you.